Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Om Shri Mahaganapataye Namaha Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः ओम श्री मेधा दक्षिणामूर्ति स्वामिने नमः। ओम सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम ओम सच्चिदानंदरूपाय कृष्णाय कृष्णकारिणे नमो वेदांत वेद्याय गुरवे बुद्धिसाक्षिणे कृष्णद्वैपायनं व्यासं सर्वलोकहिते रतं वेदाब्ज भास्करं वन्दे शमादिनिलयं मुनिं सहस्रमूर्तेः पुरुषोत्तमस्य सहस्रनेत्राननपादबाहोः सहस्रनाम्नां स्तवनं प्रशस्तं निरुच्यते जन्मजराधिशान्त्यै. So, namaste once again, everyone.
Namaste, Guruji.
Those of you who are ready to mark the attendance, please do so. Small request. So, in the last class, I think we were discussing about two sources of ananda, two sources of happiness. One was a temporary source and another was a permanent source. Both are valid sources. One gives you vyavaharika ananda. Another source, the permanent source, will give you paramarthika ananda. And the permanent source is the swarupa ananda. The temporary source in the Shastra is called Vishayananda. That is the Ananda that we get from the objects or people of the world, which are temporary. They may be there now, after some time they may not be there. Whereas the permanent source is called Atmananda, the Ananda which is there as our own nature. And the entire approach or the focus of our scriptures is helping all of us, guiding us to actually tap that permanent source so that our dependence on this temporary source of ananda gets reduced substantially. Because even though it is a source of ananda, anything temporary will go away. And sometimes it can also, from a temporary source of ananda, it could become a temporary source of dukkha also. Whereas in the case of Atmananda, it is a permanent source. It is just like, people in India, of course, I'm talking about not overseas, places like Chennai and all that. They will have a municipal water connection where the water will come, but suddenly it may stop. Or it may come, 2 hours in a day or 4 hours in a day and all that. That's a corporate, water connection. And that water which comes, they will have to first of all collect it. And it may not be sufficient for the entire household for carrying out all the activities. So what they will do? They will do a bore well. They will tap the water under the earth, rather, under the surface. And that borewell water will be a permanent source. You can tap it anytime that you want. Because the tap, the municipal tap is a temporary source. As long as the water comes, very good, use that water. But when that dries up, you must first of all understand that we have a permanent source, and you must actually tap that permanent source. And if you actually progress in the same way, a stage will come when you will not depend on the temporary source at all for your happiness. You will be abiding in your permanent source and always be happy. So this is how, the entire Shastra takes us, guides us. And for reaching that status, the most important, sadhana is, or most important qualification is Chitta Shuddhi. And all these Vishnu Sahasranama, Japa, all that we are being asked to do as sadhanas are all meant for that one purpose only: purification of our chittam, purification of our heart, purification of our thoughts, freeing our entire emotional setup from any emotional entanglements, emotional dependence on any temporary source for our happiness. So this is the context in which we were discussing in the last class. Now we will come back to the shloka, and the shloka that we are seeing is what? Marichir damano hamsaha suparno bhujagottamaha hiranyana pasutapaha patmanabha prajapatihi. This was the shloka. And I think we have already seen the meaning of Marichihi, Damanaha and Hamsaha. Now we have to see the meaning of the Nama Suparnaha. This is the 192nd Nama. Okay. Suparnaha. So here Adi Shankara says, Shobhana Dharma Dharma Rupa Parnatvat Suparnaha. Dva Suparna Mundaka Upanishad iti mantra varnat. Shobhanam Parnam Yasyeti Va Suparnaha Suparnav Patatam Asmi iti Ishvara Vachana. So here Vyasacharya is giving the names of few animal forms. Animal means I'm talking about the including birds and everything. So the one who has Shobhana Parnas, Shobhana means beautiful, shining feathers or shining wings, is called Suparna. And we have seen that Ishvara is everything. So all birds are also Bhagavan only. Because the Upanishads, they are all very poetic. When you study the Upanishad, you need a certain, what I would say, orientation, a poetic orientation to visualize the poetic imagery which is there in the Upanishads. In fact, even in Taittiriya Upanishad, these words are Katasya Priyameva Shiraha Modo Dakshinah Pakshaha Pramoda Uttarah Pakshaha Ananda Atma Brahma Pujyam Pratishta. This is the Ananda Mimamsa. There is a mantra like this. Here, the Paramatma is compared to a bird. The head of the bird is Priya, love. Because in the scriptures, even this Vishayananda, it is categorized into 3 levels. Like we say, no, best, better, and best, like that. Priya, Moda, Pramoda. So the head of the bird is Priya, the first level, love, basically. And Atma is the body of the bird, rather, which is the Ananda Swarupa. So if the bird is Ananda, then the two wings are Moda and Pramoda. If Priya, we can translate it as love, then Moda, we can translate it as joy, and Pramoda as ecstasy. I mean, English language, these words are there. Just to understand the comparative, the degrees, of the joy or happiness or ananda. So Priya, Moda, Pramoda are different degrees of ananda. This is how the Upanishads treat it. And all these are what? They are all happiness enjoyed in the upadhi of the jivas. They are what we call vritti visheshas, thought modifications. They are all like the waves in the ocean. They are waves of ananda which come and go, come and go. And question is, by whom is all this sustained? It says Brahma Pucham Pratishta. It is all sustained by the as though tail, which is Param Brahma, which is constant. The tail is constant. In fact, the birds are able to fly, even airplanes are able to fly. Their entire mechanism of direction, flight is there on the tail. So this is how and in of course in the word Suparna itself finds itself Dwaparnaha, two birds. Munduka Upanishad, when we study Munduka Upanishad, we will see how beautifully two birds are compared to. One bird is Paramatma and another bird is Jivatma. They are sitting on a branch of a tree. So there, that Paramatma is described as Suparna in the Munduka Upanishad mantra. So from that, it is from there that this Nama Suparnaha is taken. So Suparna also is name of the Bhagavan only. So this is Suparnaha. The next is Bhujagottamaha. Uttamaha means the best. Bhujagaha means snakes. Why it is called Bhujagaha? This is Bhujena Gacchata Muttamo Bhujagottamaha. Bhuja actually means curved. So a snake is called Bhujaga because it moves in a curved way, curved path. Snake cannot move straight. So here we can take Bhujagottama refers to Ananta Adisesha, who is Uttama amongst all the snakes, because Adisesha is the constant companion of Bhagavan Vishnu. So Lord is Ananta, that is who has got limitless power. And the snake is also a symbol of power. Sayanaha sarvam bhibarti. Lying down, he does everything. Akarnaha srunoti. Without ears, he listens to everything. Achakshusha pashyati. Without eyes, the snake sees everything. Apani padam gacchati. The snake does not have hands and legs, but he moves about everywhere. So like the snake here, Bhagavan is compared to a snake. That's why he's called Bhujagottamaha. So the Lord lying down on the Adisesha, he does not have any motion. Without having to move, he conducts and rules this entire Prapancha Shora. And this shows the almighty nature of the Lord. How powerful he is. He doesn't even need to touch anything. It just everything, because the order is already done. According to the order, everything keeps on moving. So this is Bhujagottamaha. Then Hiranyanabhaha. Hiranyamiva nabhi yasya iti. Hiranyamiva kalyani nabhihi yasya iti Hiranyanabaha. Then he says, Hitaram aniyanabhidvadva Hiranyanabaha. So Adi Shankara is explaining. Hiranyanabaha means the one who is the golden axle of this entire world. Without the axle, the wheel cannot move. Similarly, Bhagavan is the axle for this entire world. And here the Bhagavan is described as Hiranya. Whenever we refer to Bhagavan, this golden is always, an adjective is added. Because gold amongst the metals is the superior most metal, rather, most precious. It does not get affected, by anything, rather. Gold will remain gold only all through. Unlike iron and all, gold will not rust, because if it is pure gold. Gold will not lose its shine on its own unless it gets, mixed with something else. That may cause the gold to lose its shine. Gold itself will not lose its shine, rather. That is why gold is most precious, and especially we are in India are all mad behind gold, isn't it? So Nabhi means axle. This entire prapancha, this world is like a wheel in motion, and its Nabhi is Hiranyagarbha, shining like gold. So if the world is the wheel, then its Nabhi, the center, will be what? Consciousness, the Chaitanya. And you see again the beauty of the example of Hiranya, the gold. Gold is shining, Chaitanya is also self-shining. So it is likened to Hiranya, the gold. So the Lord is shining. Lord is the shining center of this whole universe. And therefore the world is the wheel which keeps constantly moving. And the Jiva is like a bird perched on the rim of the wheel. See how beautiful imagery it brings in here. And this bird, that is the Jiva bird, it seems to go up and down, along with the motion of the wheel. So when the situations in the life are manageable, it goes up and up and up. Then when things are out of hand and the Jiva feels crushed, he seems to come down, 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 down. Then again the wheel goes up. Then again the same thing happens. So the Jiva who is caught in this, this eternal rather cycle of going up and going down, starts thinking, I am caught in this samsara chakra. I am going up and down and up and down. Is there a way out for me? How can I escape this? The jiva comes to a situation where it thinks, I don't want either going up, I don't want going down. Because while going up is enjoyable, coming down, there is something happens in my stomach. Those of you in your, in your younger days would have gone around this, what they call um, that wheel.
Giant wheel.
Huh?
Giant wheel.
Giant wheel, yeah. So you can know, you can understand what it means. That's exactly, the giant wheel is nothing but a representation of this samsara chakra, and we jivas sit on that. When it is going up, it is all fun. When it comes down at a speed, there is a churning in the stomach, uncomfortable feeling. Some people even, vomit. Total uncomfortable feeling is there when it is coming down. So jiva is thinking, is there a way out for me? Then the guru comes and tells the jiva, see, instead of sitting on on the rim of the wheel, take an effort to fly, O jiva bird, and go and sit on the Hiranyanabi, the axle of this world. Once you sit on the axle, you will not go up and down, but you will be able to enjoy the moving of the wheel going up and down. You can enjoy all the jivas going up and down, but you yourself will not be affected. Which means what? This is all symbolic representation. Take refuge in Bhagavan. Once you have surrendered to the Ishvara, brought maximum more and more Ishvara into your life, handed over your life to Ishvara by sitting on the Hiranyanabi, the golden axle, then you just enjoy this world. Because whatever happens in the world, whether good or bad, it will not affect you. You will be stable, you will be safe, and sitting there, you can still enjoy the wheel going up and down, if that gives you an enjoyment. And if other jivas who are actually having a problem or difficulty at the time of coming down, maximum you can do is tell those jivas to see me what I did. I flew from the rim of the wheel and I'm now sitting on the axle. I have not left this world. I have not gone away from the wheel. I am still on the wheel only. So that is why moksha is not something going out of this world. Moksha is not something, that, leave everything, family, everything, go to some God-forsaken forest and live there. That is not moksha. Being at the center of this entire, this entire going on, this world, if you are able to hold on to your own by knowing the secret, where to sit, where to make your seat permanent, make it permanent on the lap of Ishvara, then you can enjoy that moksha, enjoy this world, everything you can enjoy. That's why I say Nandati, Nandati, Nandati eva, everything. It is just like watching a movie, because you know that this is the reality. This entire world moving around is mithya. Just like, we don't get carried away by watching a movie or a drama where there are emotional scenes, people crying, fighting, shouting and all. We just sit there 3 hours, 2 hours, enjoy that. Enjoy what is going on, come away, and then be what we are. Like that, you will learn to enjoy what is going on. You will empathize with people. You will have, compassion for people who are suffering. You will try your maximum to help out those people also. And when people are happy, when they are going up the wheel, you will also join them and then enjoy, laugh, shout, all that you will do. But in your mind, in your heart, you know that I am not a part of this wheel. I am a part of the axle. I am sitting on the axle. That is how we have to understand this word Hiranyanabi. It's a very, very beautiful nama of Bhagavan, Hiranyanabi. Then Sutapaha, next one. Sutapaha, the one who performs great tapas. So here what Adi Shankara has done is, he has taken from, the tapas which Bhagavan did in Badarika Ashram, in Badrinath. So Badarika Ashrame Naranarayana Rupena Shobhanam Tapascharati iti Sutapaha Manaschendriyanam cha Haikagryam Paramam Tapaha. This is from Brahma Purana. Iti Smritehe. So, the word tapas, we have heard, this is a very common name. Tapas implies a certain sacrifice, a certain pain to be foreborne, and certain denials. That is what is tapas. Tapas is also giving up what you love, what you like, and adopting to something which is not comfortable and easy. And this is done for what? For achieving something big. Because there is a commitment involved, there is a denial for achieving something big. And this tapas is not necessarily a word used in the context of, a religion or, in spirituality alone. Any person, be he a sportsman, be he an artist, performing artist, all of them, they deny themselves so many things. They sacrifice so many things. They undergo so much pain in order to achieve what they want to achieve. You talk to any of these big, athletes or, cricketers, how much of self-denial they have done. Why? Because that is their goal. And the Brahma Purana says, Manaschendriyanam cha hi ekagrayam paramam tapaha. What is that? It is considered to be the great tapas when manas and indriyanam ekagriyam is achieved, when the mind and senses are able to stay with only one occupation, and that disposition of the mind is called ekagriyam, one-pointedness. Those who are Tattva Bodha students would have seen one of the Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampatti elements, Chitta Ekagriyam, Ekagriyam. So, all this is fine from the point of view of a jiva, tapas and things like that. But what is the relevance of this tapas when for Ishvara? But he is called a Sutapa here. Sutapa means Shobhana Tapa. So whose tapas is special, distinguished tapas. What is that Ishvara's tapas? We have seen this, this Ishvara's tapas earlier also, where Taittiriya Upanishad was quoted, Satapo tapyata, Satapas taptva, idagum sarvam asrijata. So the whole creation is the tapas of Ishvara. Jnana is also tapas, creation also is tapas, because without jnanam, there can be no creation. Without the knowledge of what is to be created, there can be no creation. To obtain that knowledge, that itself is a tapas. So this creation is the result of tapas, and the very creation is also tapas. That is why when we saw the Nama Mahatapah, there it was, this quotation which I said, Satapo tapyata, Satapas tatva, idagum sarvam asrijata. So there, Adi Shankara, if you remember, quoted from Mundaka Upanishad, Yasya Jnanamayam tapaha. So there he took the interpretation as this entire creation, the world has come out of jnana tapas of Bhagavan. Because when we see the stars, when we see the blue sky, actually there is no blue in the sky, but it appears to be blue. The mountains, the rivers, the beautiful flowers, the trees, all these things when we see what? Only the tapas of Bhagavan. So this is the meaning of the word. This is how we have to understand this word Sutapaha. All tapas of Bhagavan. Again, when it comes to Upanishads and all that, these are all figurative expressions. It's not that Bhagavan is going to sit cross-legged somewhere and do tapas and all that. But to indicate that what kind of an effort would have been required on the part of Bhagavan, on the part of Brahman and Maya combination to create this world, and that could not have been possible without a tapas. So indirectly, the message to us is, if you want to create something big in your life, if you want to achieve some special position in your life, if that is your goal, if that is your dream, and that includes your mumukshutvam, in fact, I should not say includes, mumukshutvam is the ultimate goal. If moksha is the goal, it will involve a lot of tapas. It cannot be just got by listening to some lectures, reading some books. They are all good, preparatory, necessary in order to tune our mind. But moksha is a package which you have to put it into practice. Vak tapas has to be practiced. The food you eat, you have to be conscious what food you are eating. Ultimately, moksha is what? Identifying that I am no different from Ishvara. And what is Ishvara? This entire order of this prapancha is Ishvara, we have seen. So the journey towards moksha, if at all I can call it a journey, because you are already Mukta Purusha, so that we don't know. So if we have to remove that ignorance, this tapas is required. And that tapas will be what? Trying or redesigning our lifestyle in such a way that slowly we go towards the order of Ishvara, we go towards this entire nature. Put down every minute of our life into a natural, what I could call natural condition. Don't do anything to militate against the nature. Identify yourself with the entire cycle, which is the nature. Observe the nature and become one with that. These are all tapas. It's not very easy. For most of us, even getting up in the morning at the time of sunrise is a big challenge. But the tapas has to start from that. Nobody has become a Mukta Purusha by sleeping up to 8 o'clock in the morning. Unless, of course, he is sick or something like that. Occasionally, fine. So these are all these tapas involved. So when we are studying this Vishnu Sahasranama and when we come across that Bhagavan's tapas for creation of this world, then it should actually inspire us to also, practice this different kinds of tapas, which is all prescribed in the Shastras for us to reach or achieve any goal, not necessarily spiritual goal, even a laukika goal, we can achieve only by doing tapas. So anything, what is tapas? Tapas involves all these, as I told you, self-denial. It will involve difficulty, giving up what you like. Tapas. So this is Sutapaha. Then the 196th nama is Padmanabha. So here, Padmanabha means the one who shines in the center of the lotus of the heart. So he says, Padmamiva Suvartula Nabihi Asyeti Hridaya Padmasya Nabhahu Madhye Prakashanadhva Padmanabha Kushodaraditvat Sadhutva. Okay. He has brought in a Sanskrit grammar issue here in Padmanabha. Anyhow, I think I will not, let me see whether that is relevant or not. Okay. So what he is saying is Padmanabha because his Nabhi is Padmam Iva. We saw the Nabhi in the earlier sloka. Hiranya Nabhi. Now what is the shape of that Nabhi? It is like a lotus. Nabhi means the navel. It is like a beautiful lotus. So here the reference is now to the form. It is Saguna Brahman form. And we have actually seen in other context also the heart is likened to a lotus. And the one who obtains in the Nabhi means one who is available for recognition in the Nabhi, in the middle of the heart, is Padmanabha. And how he is available for recognition? He says, Prakashamanaha. He is shining. Because whatever is shining, you cannot miss it. Isn't it? So Bhagavan is the one who stays in the Nabhi, the center of the lotus of the heart. And he is the one who stays in the heart of everybody. Gita 15th chapter, Bhagavan himself says, Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishtaha. I am in every heart. Sarvasya cha aham hridi sannivishtaha. So the Lord, therefore, is Padmanabha. So that is why to see Bhagavan, in order to understand Bhagavan, discover Bhagavan in ourselves, we have to open the heart with the keys of love, devotion, compassion, etc. They are the keys for this. Once you possess all this, that is what is called spiritual maturity. And these qualities are very much necessary for recognizing Ishvara in oneself. Because if you just actually think about it a little more, when I see you or you see me, then to see, we become a seer. To become a seer, I must exist. Not only I must exist, because a dead body also exists, but I must be conscious also. So just the act of seeing, cognition, cognizing what is required, I must exist and I must also be conscious. Mere existence will not allow, will not permit me to see, but existence combined with consciousness, which is the adhisthana, the basis of the seer. And once the seer is there, then sight is possible. The seen object, you, is there, I see you. So consciousness, that is why it is called the eye of the eye. And it is self-revealing and it reveals everything. So if I think that about every action of mine, how am I able to do this action? Why? What is that in me at this point in time which is not there in a dead body, which makes me do this action? We will inevitably come to the conclusion there is some power that as a living being I have, which drives me or which helps me to perform this action. Here the example of seeing. Once you think like that and then try to understand what that is, you can't see it, but that helps you to see. That is why it is called consciousness is the eye of the eye. It is not only self-revealing, it also reveals everything, as I said. Because if consciousness also were to be revealed, then that consciousness will be another object of consciousness. We need to have another consciousness to reveal that consciousness. Then it will become a infinite regression. Because as normally the example, to see a light, you don't need another source of light. On a dark night, even a small glowworm reveals itself to our eyes, isn't it? To see that glow, we don't need another glow to light up that glow. So that fact is extended here. So the light of consciousness is the adhisthana of everything, and it does not require any other light to reveal it. It reveals itself and reveals everything else. Everything else includes every thought, every concept, every emotion, every object of thought, everything it reveals, this consciousness. And where does this all take place? It is all taking place in our buddhi. And buddhi in the Shastra is called Hridaya. And Bhagavan is the one who is actually present in the Hridaya for our recognition. He remains there shining as the consciousness in the Nabhi of the Hridaya Padma, in the middle of the lotus of the heart, and hence he is Padmanabha. This is the how we have to understand this nama Padmanabha. So whenever we are actually taking these names, what we should do is, based upon whatever we have understood, each nama, we must bring the meaning into our mind and contemplate on that. In fact, each nama, as I said earlier also, you can meditate on each nama by first understanding the meaning and then bringing the meaning into the mind. And once you bring one meaning into the mind, you will find how that leads to different interpretation, different meanings from different namas. They all come together. And that meditation itself is a very, very enjoyable experience. So this is the meaning of the name Nama Padmanabha. Then the next one is Prajapatihi. Prajanam Patihi, Pita Prajapatihi. Right? The Lord or Father of all beings. The word Praja is normally, it is the Prakarshena Jayante iti Praja, plural. Those who are well born according to the law of karma are called Prajas. And Bhagavan is the Pati, the father of all the Prajas, including Brahmaji. And also the one who gives the results for their actions. So he is Prajapatihi. So this finishes that sloka. Now we'll go to the next sloka. Amrutyus sarvadriksimha sandhata sandhiman stiraha ajo durmarshanas shasta vishrutatma surariha. So this sloka again has got 11 namas. Amrutyuhu sarvadrik simha sandhata sandhiman stiraha ajaha durmarshanaha shastha vishrutatma surariha. So these are the 11 namas in this sloka. So Amrityuhu means the one who has no death or cause of death. Amrityuhu. Okay. Adi Shankara, what does he say? Mrityuhu vinashaha tadhetuhu va asya na vidyate iti amrityuhu. Mrityuhu vinashaha tadhetuhu. Yeah. So mrityu means death, or what causes death also is called mrityu. That's why Yamaraja is called mrityu in Kathopanishad, because he is the one who causes death. And the one who is not subject to this, either death or being the cause of death, is amrityu. As I said, Lord Yama is the cause of death. And anything that is time bound undergoes death. For everything in this prapancha, the death cannot be removed. Cause of death cannot be removed. But Bhagavan is the one who does not have the problem of death. Why? Because he is Amrityu. What does that mean? So we have to understand that how the Jiva's birth takes place. A particular set of karma brings about this body. Exhaustion of that particular set of karma is the cause of death. Disease, etc. All are cause of death. And disease also comes because of that karma only. So if there is a form, then the form undergoes change and finally death comes about. We have seen the Shad Vikaras. Asti, Jayate, Vardate, Viparanimate. Then Apakshiyate, Nashyati. So these 6 changes which take place in all the bodies, right from the conception till death, is common for everything, every living thing in this entire prapancha. But Atma, being formless and attribute free, it is also not bound by time. It is not subject to any modification or change. And because of that, it has neither karma nor karma phala. And if we understand Ishvara as the Atma, it is Amrityuhu. Because Ishvara or Atma is not subject to time or the cause of or causes of death. So when we are in the spiritual path, and as we go on gaining more and more knowledge about the reality, the absolute reality, the knowledge of the Paramatma, the knowledge of the true nature of our own selves, we will understand that we are also Amrityuhu. What dies is this form. This stula, sukshma, stula sharira, in every janma it dies. Sukshma sharira and karana sharira, though go on and on and on. At the end of the kalpa, the time of great pralaya, the sukshma sharira also gets resolved. Karana sharira continues till one gets moksha, once one becomes a jnani. So therefore, we need to understand the only way we can really claim to be a Amrityuhu is when we become a jnani. At that stage, we will understand that I was never mortal. I was always immortal, like Bhagavan. And that is the meaning it will be revealed to us of Aham Brahmasmi, Tattvamasi, Prajnanam Brahma, etc. All these Mahavakyas reveal that only. So this is the Bhagavan's Nama as Amrityuhu. Then Sarvadrik. Sarvadrik means the one who sees everything. So Praninam Krita Kritam Sarvam Pashyati Swabhavikena Bodhena Iti Sarvadrik. Sarvam Pashyati Iti Sarvadrik. He is Sarvadrik because he sees everything. What has gone before, what will come later, what is now, everything past, present and future is all known to Bhagavan. Because he is the witness, he is the Sakshi Chaitanyam who has seen everything, and records everything in the respective jivas karana sharira. So punya, papa, etc., all these are adrishta. Adrishta means cannot be seen by anyone. We can only see the results of punya and papa. Even Indra and other devatas cannot see it. It is adrishta for everybody, but for Ishvara, it is drishta. It is seen. It is known to him. He sees everything. What is krita, what is akrita, what is done, what is not done by all beings. Where we perceive various things, know various things only through the sense organs and the mind. But Bhagavan does not need all the indriyas for his knowledge. And that's why Adi Shankara says, he is swabhavika bodha. This knowledge comes to him naturally rather. When we say he is a Sakshi Chaitanyam, does not mean that he is actually having eyes, mind and indriyas and all. He doesn't have any of that, but he has got the power to absorb everything, to have the knowledge of everything. Everything that the jiva does not do is known to the Bhagavan. It gets recorded and in a hard drive, saved for eternity till the jiva gets moksha. So let us try to see whether we can finish this next sloka, next also. Yeah, I think small. Next one is 200th nama, Simha. Simha, normally we will say Simha means a lion, right? But here, Adi Shankara takes a beautiful meaning. Destroyer of all papas, he says. Hinasti iti Simha. Again, he says, Prishodaraditvat sadhutvam. Okay. The Prishodara is a part of this Ashtadhyay. Because there are certain words in the Sanskrit language which do not strictly conform to the normal grammar rules. These are exceptions. So the grammar contains a section where these exceptions are dealt with. So from that exception point of view, this usage is proper. Sadhuhu, says Adi Shankara. I'm just explaining. I'm not going to explain the Sanskrit technicalities. It's very technical kind of a thing. So here, Simha means destroyer of our papas. That is the meaning that he takes rather. Hinasti smarana matrena samasta papani iti Simha. As I said, when we say Simha means a lion, it is a Gauna Prayoga. But suppose we say this person is a lion. A lion is courageous and the person who is courageous is called a lion. It is the king of the jungle and fearless. So here Bhagavan is called Simha. Because in the world which is a forest, which can be compared to the forest, Parameshwara is the lion, the one who is the fearless king of all beings. And etymologically, Simha means that which destroys. So if the Lord is Simha, a destroyer, what does he destroy? He says, Hinasti sarvan papani. He removes, destroys all papas of beings who merely remember him sincerely. Again, figurative. It is, you can call it, glorification of Bhagavan. But one of the ways we can actually neutralize the papas is remembering Bhagavan in every breath of ours. praying to Bhagavan whenever it is possible for us. In fact, we should make it a point to pray to Bhagavan every day. So all these things merely smaranamatrena, he says, just by remembering itself, he will remove all the papas. Means what? Removal of papas means what? Bring in more and more chitta shuddhi. That's all. Our mind becomes more and more pure when the papas get neutralized little by little. This is what is the meaning of the nama simha. Okay, I'll stop here and then I will say the prayers. And if there are any questions, we can take that. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thank you all very much.
Namaste Guruji.
Namaste. Namaste everybody.
Namaste Guruji.
Namaste.
Namaste, Guruji. Thank you.
Hari Om Guruji.
Hari
Namaste Guruji. Thank you.
Namaste. Thank you.
Hari Om Guruji.
Namaste.
Hari Om. Hari Om.
Thank you.
Thank you.
धन्यवादः महोदय.
Dhanyavadah.
Thank you Guruji. Thank you very much.
Hari Om. Any questions? Any doubts, clarifications, comments, observations?
You have to hear it again, Guruji. Lot.
Yeah. One has to hear again and again. No doubt about it. So just like, when even when school and college and all, the teacher will teach in one session. We have to go home and then revise it and do that and all that. Here we can give ourselves an examination whether we have understood it correctly or not. So that is always there. In 1 hour,
Guruji,
can't expect. Yeah.
Guruji, I was wanting to review Tattva Bodha several times, but it's not available. Where did it go? Did it go back into YouTube? The classes were all available, but when I tried to access it, it's not there.
No, I think it is still there in YouTube, in the channel. No, after
On the channel.
Yeah, Aavignidhi channel, you will have to go. I will send you the channel link. So
Okay.
if you go there, you will get only my talks in that. Nothing else will be there.
Okay.
So that will be probably easy to search there rather than searching YouTube generally. I think that Tattva Bodha should be there because I started uploading it right from Tattva Bodha classes. It is there. Should be there.
Okay. Thank you, Guruji.
Hari Om. Thank you.
It is
Yeah.
there, Guruji. I have been listening. It is there in your channel. It is there.
Yeah, it is there in the channel. Yeah.
Guruji,
Yeah.
you mentioned the thought modifications. You gave what term? What is it? Could you just vritta something you mentioned?
Yeah. Hey, thought modification means what? You observe your thoughts, start with that, right? Everything that is there in our behavior starts with a thought only. If I've understood your question correctly, I'm trying to answer it, right? So when all our actions, whatever we do, it starts with a thought in our mind, and that thought is called vritti. And that thought is what, converts itself into an action. That thought gets conveyed to the brain, or we can say to our buddhi. Then from the buddhi, it is, the buddhi does a filtering process. The thought could be something, adharmic thought. Isn't it? You go to a shop. You see a beautiful pen. Suppose you like pens, you are a writer. A beautiful pen you write, like. You ask the price, you don't have the money to pay. You feel it's very expensive, but you like it. There is a possibility a thought may occur in your mind, why not I steal it? I'm just giving you a very crude example. Some people will have, and they do it also, they steal it also, in fact. So at that time, the thought which has occurred, stealing is going to take place later on only, but the thought has occurred, why don't I steal it? Now that thought will go into our buddhi for processing. Now the buddhi will apply all the filters based upon our past samskaras, our own personality. It will say, hey, what are you thinking? Stealing is not allowed. It is adharmic. Remove it. So this thought, it is a fleeting thing, If you just observe, any thought which comes in our mind is very fleeting. It stays there for a fraction of a second. Then it moves and another thought will come in. That is how it's chanchalam. Arjuna says, chanchalam hi manakrishna. I am not able to hold on to these thoughts. You are saying all these great things, but I am not able to hold on to it. Bhagavan says, yes, you cannot hold on to it because that is the nature of the mind. So, abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha. So, you have to develop vairagya and practice it too in order to direct your thoughts into the correct, right path. Instead of the thought managing you, you manage the thought. So this modification of the thought is something in spiritual pursuit. We need to be aware of every thought of ours. Initial stages, it will be flooded with so many thoughts, so many conflicts, in fact. We have to use our buddhi, appeal to the Bhagavan who is Hriday Sannivishtaha, who is there and then take the help of Bhagavan, like Arjuna did. Please help me. And then keep on clearing. And then you will reach a stage where only correct thoughts, useful thoughts, and helpful thoughts only will be coming in your mind. You would have filtered out all other thoughts. So this is the entire process of our trying to manage the thought. I wouldn't say control, I would say manage. Because thoughts will still come. Question is, what is the quality of the thoughts? We need to take the quality of the thoughts from what an ordinary jiva quality of thought is to a exalted jiva's quality of thoughts. And that has to be done over a period of time. A lot of practice is required, and that cannot happen unless you have vairagyam towards all these things. Vairagyam cannot come unless you understand the ephemeral nature of the things in this world to which you are attracted day in and day out. So it is the entire process, and the whole process, the processor is the thought. It is there. And that is what drives all of us in all our actions. Everything starts with a thought in the mind. Did I answer your question?
Yes. It's so beautiful. I'm just listening to your.
I didn't know that this thought management process is a very, very deep process rather. And meditation is the only way we can do continuous meditation. When we sit for meditation with a particular goal, you will find that so many thoughts are coming unrelated to what we have said. All those things will come at that time, because what happens is the mind finds, okay, good, this is a great time. Everything is, this fellow is trying to remove all other things. It's a time, let me go and play around. Everything will come. What is my daughter doing there? Yesterday, my son did not call me. Why he did not call me? Is there a problem with him? All these things you are sitting on meditation. You are trying to meditate on Padmanabha and you are getting all these things in your mind rather. So you have to tell, hey, well, we will attend to that later. Let me now focus on Padmanabha. This time, next 5 minutes is Padmanabha time. It will not leave you, but you have to continuously practice it. It will become tired then. Mind will become like, okay, you do whatever you want to do. I will leave you alone for 10 minutes. Do your meditation. You have to reach
The one-pointed is very, very far.
One-pointedness is the Chitta Ekagram is required. That is for that the practice, only practice is this meditation. You have to do that. And once you are able to do that successfully or to a large extent successfully, then even when you are not meditating also, you can bring the thought to that single pointed focus. And that is what many of these scientists and things like that and all, even, that Arjuna's thing, when Arjuna was to be, to shoot that eye of that some bird, there is a story in Mahabharata. So everybody, this Dronacharya asked, what do you see? They said, I see a tree, then I see a bird, and then I see this, I see that and all. Arjuna said, what do you see? I see I see one eye, and I am supposed to, I am aiming for that eye with my arrow. So that is the single pointed focus. Everything is around there. It is present. But your focus is on what your goal is. What is it that you are supposed to do now? Similarly, when you, Sachin Tendulkar or, anybody, a big cricketer, he goes to play, to bat. In his focus, only thing, he does not see any fielder, he does not see any bowler, nothing. His focus is only on the ball, which is coming. If he's a good cricketer, is the one who can see that only the ball, so that he can connect and play that ball. The moment, even for a split second, if he misses that, he will be out. So this single pointed focus, that's why I said, whether it is spiritual or laukikam, for achieving anything in our life, this single pointed focus is very, very important. And without that, once you have got that, you can use it for whatever you want. You can become a great jnani and also a great accomplisher. No problem at all. Anything that you take up, you will be able to accomplish it because you are able to focus your mind. What is to be done to achieve this? You can become the CEO of a company. You can become the prime minister of a country. If you have that as your single pointed focus. So this is mind management is a very, very big topic. Mostly, the psychiatrists, psychologists approach it from a different perspective, different standpoint. Whereas we in Vedanta, especially Puja Swamiji, he has given a lot of talks on this subconscious, conscious and all that, the psychological aspects of this entire Vedanta study and all, lot of material is there, Puja Swamiji's. So there, this is very, very relevant. Even realms where psychologists have not gone, Vedanta takes you to those areas. And when you get into that, practice it, you don't need psychologists. You can become a counselor rather to others once you understand the process. So that is what the thought management is all about.
Thank you, Swami.
Thank you.
Thank you, Guru.
Thank you. Any more questions? If not there, can we close the session? With your permission. Okay. Right then, Hari Om. We will see you next Sunday. Okay. Thank you.
Namaste, Hari Om.
Namaste, Hari Om.